So once again, we're just making sure we build out the Quokka. So we got our 3 big shapes. We got the head. And they're all about almost the same size. The head is just a little bit larger. We got the torso. And then we got the derriere, lower part of the body. And then the orange, I'll do the orange ears. Once again, the orange pencil is just to show you where I'd make my light pencil marks. I really want everyone to see what I'm doing, so I can't draw light. All right, so the next part we're gonna do is, let's look at the face area. So if you look at this one, you'll see that, remember we usually talk about faces and how normally it's in the center. Well, first of all, like animals are different. And the second part is that the Quokka's chin is up on this one. So the eyes will be further up on the head. So what you could do, and I've actually realized that where the ears are at, the lower part, you can just put a line there, and that's the bottom part of the eyes. That's a good way to give yourself a visual map on where to put the eyes. So I just put a light line there. And then if you want to put like a little line down below where the nose would be, and a little piece at the top. So it's kind of like a curved triangle at the top, a little piece on the bottom here. So it almost looks like I guess it'd be like a spade. So we can get the Quokka nose in there. Okay, all right, awesome. So now we're gonna go into getting the top part of the eyes set. So if you'll see, the Quokka has really small beady eyes. They're super teeny. So you could just go up a little bit from this line down here and just mark that with your pencils, so that way you know where the top part of your eyes are. And then you can always like mark the left and right side. This is always just a good way to help give you a visual guidance before you go in and build it out. So the Quokka eyes, they kind of have like, it's not always just round. You got a line here, and then you can kind of round it out. There's another line here. So they're very different than human eyes. And some of you have been in my drawing eyes class, and this is very different. Oh, looks like Isabella has a question. What's up, Isabella? Oh, I got you. Hang on real quick. Let me unmute.
Are you supposed to draw the line in the middle or no?
This one right here?
Yeah.
So that was more me just showing the light line. Actually, what I should do, that's a good question. Let me jump to, when it's a darker line, I'll go into this dark green that I have. So that way you kiddos understand the difference between the orange is my light lines. Do you know what I mean when I say like just doing really light lines with pencil? Because when I draw, I'll usually do really light sketching. And then when I like my lines, I'll go in and do the dark lines. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when I'm building something out, I'll always use my pencil in a very light way that I can see, and then I'll go with the dark. So I'll keep the orange as my light, and then I'll go in with the dark green. It looks like you can tell a difference there between them. So, okay, so I'm just gonna go in and get this dark one set up. So you can see where I want those at. Okay, so I got the nose and the eyes. All right, let me mute everyone again, and we'll jump to the next one. Okay, here we go. Next one we got. So then we're gonna jump down to the mouth. So the one thing that really helps kind of give the Quokka its look is all this extra space down below its chin. So you don't want to put the mouth too far down. So what you could do is get your chin set in first, so you know it's there. So with my light line, I'll just do like an arc, so I know not to go past that. And then I gave myself a good amount of space between these two for the mouth. So then once I've got my arc, so this is the part where the Quokka has this most ridiculous smile. So you can give it whatever smile you want. Like It's a really happy looking animal. So I just go straight from the bottom of the nose out to the sides. Like I said, just give it whatever kind of smile you want. And then I'll give it its little teeth. And once again, you know, you kiddos have been in my classes, know, you know, I mentioned do whatever looks more like your style. You want to give it big teeth or little teeth. And I'll do like a little arc underneath there and kind of fill that in. Now you got a little Quokka mouth. Now the Quokkas also have very unusual, I mean, I mentioned the eyes are unusual, but they almost look cross-eyed. There's something really silly going on with them. So I'll show you how I go about putting that there. So what I'll do is I'll take the insides. Oops, let me get this lined up again. So you basically want to put your pupils kind of facing inwards more. And then I'm going to keep a little bit of the white area, make another like semicircle in there and keep that white. So that way it looks like they're crossing their eyes a little bit. They're super silly looking creatures. And then we can add the nostrils in there. So it's the same thing, kind of semicircle on the left and right side of the nose, and you can fill that in. There we go. Just make those areas I say fill in just really dark, because these are incredibly dark parts of the Quokka, the eyes, the nostrils. You just really want to get those dark. And then what we're going to do is add the cheek. So if you look at this one over here, oh, sorry, I forget you guys can see that. So you'll notice it has little tufts of fur on the side. So we're just going to give it that look by doing that part. It kind of looks like crooked triangles coming out. So I'm going to give and do however many, you know, fuzzy pieces you want. Or if you want to do the lines, you can do that. But any way you want to show fur, I'm just going to do these angled triangles and bring that around. And then do the same thing over here. You don't have to repeat the same pattern. I might do a few more on the other side. So now we just gave our Quokka some fur. And then we'll kind of do the same thing with the ears. We can do just do an arc at the top of each ear. And then you can go in and do the same thing with the fuzz. Just do some tufts of hair. So y'all should have a lot of the head filled in already. Now this is still just building out the shape, and we can go in and add some more lines later. We just want to get the shape of the Quokka down. Next piece. So we're going back to the chin area that we did. So now we're just going to kind of do that same fur, the cartoon fur, and just give it some tufts of hair down here. Then we're going to move on to just getting more of the body filled out. So with that, we need to focus on the arms and the feet. Let me move this over here a little more. Okay. So what I do to make sure that I have the angles that I like is I'm going to what I call it's kind of like the skeletal structure. So here's my other Quokka, you can see real quick. So what I do is I put a line from here to here and here to here, and then from there, and that'll help me know the center part of the arms and legs. So I'll show you what that looks like in real time here. So I'm just gonna put one straight line, and this is with your light pencil, from here to here. And this is why you have these references, these loops, so you know the very beginning and end of things. So there's one line there. I'm gonna put another line here. Like imagine that's the bone in your arm. Like if you just did a stick figure. And then I'm gonna put a line here and a line here for the feet. Now that lets me know the distance of things, where the center part is, and then you can build out from there. So that's basically like a quick skeletal structure for the Quokka. Then from that point, you build the mass, which is the shapes. So let's look at the arm on this side. So I just want you to do like an oval over here with your pencil really lightly. So get that set in there. And then you're just gonna do another small oval for the hand. So you know where that's gonna be. Or the paw, I should say. Let's call it the right thing. It's a paw. And from that point, you can connect with your lines the top part of the arm, the more the bicep area, to the paw. And that will give you the basic shape of the arm, and we can add the detail later. But once again, this is building things out with shapes. It's very helpful to do. So now let's look at the other side of the Quokka. So it's the kind of same idea, but if you notice, the Quokka's body shifted a little bit to the other side. So we also still want to give it that really long oval though. So let's do an oval here. And then let's do a paw down here. So now you got some fun angles going on. You know, you got your paws coming close together, but you're really building it out in an armature way. And this is another good way to draw, especially if you want to sculpt later on in life. Like we've done the sculptures with the armature and the tinfoil. Thinking about your drawings like this will help you down the road when you want to actually do sculptures. So this is why I recommend this also, building another part of your brain. All right. And now we're going to go on to the feet. So the same thing with building out the shape there. We got a really big Quokka thigh here. I'm going to check, I'm going to put that in there. So that's where that would be. Then I'm going to put just a smaller oval down here, or just a half circle, I should say. It's half oval. So we got one Quokka foot built out. And then we'll do our other side over here. We could just do a really elongated, kind of curved around the corner rectangle. That would be the final build out. So then we have our form ready to go. So we can go in now and do the details like we do with the Quokka head. I'll give you a few minutes to get that in. Just give me a thumbs up when you're done building out. Okay. All right. Looks like everyone's good. Okay, so the next thing, so now let's go back to what we call the detailed work. So I'm going to jump back in with my dark pencil so you can see this. So the same thing with the fur on the other side. We're just going to take this corner and build that around the arm. So I'm just going to go in and do a few of those like fur styled cartoons or however you're doing the fur, and just put a few in there, and that helps people know that's fuzzy. And then I'm going to come down to the arm, the paw, and pull that out. I'm just going to arc that around the corner and come back up. So this part should be pretty easy because you've built out all these other parts of the Quokka. And the reason why you do these light lines too is that you can change things before you put your dark lines in. So you can modify if something doesn't look right to you. And then I'm going to give it some little Quokka nails. Just going to give it some little jagged pieces here, 4. And then you're basically do the same thing to the other arm. Just go ahead and bring in some fur tufts on the side. And then I'm going to connect the bottom part of that long oval into the paw. Same idea as the other one. Arc it around and bring it back up. And I'll give that its 4 claws. You know, because Quokka needs their claws too. They need to be able to defend themselves and eat. All right, cool. Okay, so next part, we're almost there. Then we can get into the fun detail work. Okay, so we're gonna take some more fur on this side and bring it over. So same thing, let's just round that out now that we've built up the shapes. And you can bring the fur on the other side too, on the lower part, the lower body. Just more kind of small random lines at the bottom for the fur. So now we got the Quokka base. All right, then we'll bring in the Quokka's kneecap. So this one we don't want to go all the way around because then it looks like it's cut off. So we want to start like up here and move around this way. I'll bring this around here. And then give it its foot. And I'm connecting these two parts over here. So this part's going to be open. Okay, here comes the other Quokka foot. All right, so this one's a little bit longer. So this one's what we call foreshortened. So this one's just a little bit longer because it's facing the side as opposed to facing towards you. So I'm going to put this line here. I'm going to do just a little bump because their feet do that. Come down and then curve around and bring it up. And then you can do the same thing with the nails. You got Quokka nails down here. There you go. Oh, we forgot to put ears in. We got the inside the ears. We need to put the outside. So you can go in and do, you want to do kind of extra fur on the edges. Now I've got the fur thing down. And then take that around the top. So there's the base of that. And when everyone's done, give me a thumbs up. And then we'll talk about doing more detail. Okay, got Santo, or got Maya, got Olivia, got Santo. Okay, so we're waiting on Isabella. Let me unmute each one of you. So we'll start with Maya and Santo first. I just want to see what you kiddos have made. Can you show me what you got? Nice, awesome. Your kiddos are getting it. Very cool. I'm excited to see that. All right, let me jump over to Isabella. Looks like she's holding hers up. Awesome. Yay, Isabella's doing some more anime style. That's cool. Like I said, everyone, I want you to show your style through this. Okay, Olivia, what you got? Let me pin it. Ah, these are great. Nice work, everyone. Yeah, woo-woo. Round of applause. Yay, a round of applause. Okay, well, let me know if you have any questions. Does anyone have any questions? Are you ready to jump in? Okay, look, Isabella, what's up?
Is there a tail?
The Quokka has a little small tough tail, kind of like I guess a koala is what it would look like. So yeah, we could put a tail in if you want. So yeah, we could definitely put like a Quokka tail in. So I'll go in and just do this tuft of fur. Let me get my right pencil here. All right, what's up, Olivia?
Do we erase all of the light lines that we had on there, or do we not erase those yet?
So you can go in and just take your erasers and just go in and kind of remove those. You don't need those anymore. And then we'll go in and start to do some of the detailed work, the lights and darks. And then we'll just give ourselves a quick 2-minute break. Go ahead and erase your lines, your light lines, and then we'll go into the detailed work. All right, my alarm went off. Okay, cancel. I'm gonna hit the gong. I have this gong. There you go. I want to bring that to art class one day.
Everyone hates it.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about shading. So we got about 15 minutes, a little bit of that. So I'll just give you kind of a quick tutorial. Like I said, I'm gonna record this again at some point the more detailed work, so you kiddos can look at that when you'd like to learn some more techniques. So the one thing I want to point out, just looking at this detailed piece here, let me see if I can get it closer. There we go. All right, so with the detailed piece, the few things you want to do is, like if you want to look online for Quokka references, or even on the art page, I have the one I use, it's like 4 images smashed together. But one thing that's nice to do is look at pictures and squint your eyes. You're shaking us a lot. So look at the picture and squint your eyes and really try to figure out the lights and darks of the picture. That helps to figure out where the dark shadings need to be. So the more I did that, the more I could see that it has to be dark here, over here, around the chin. So that helps a lot. The other thing with fur is if you look at the Quokka, you'll start to see that there's parts of the fur that are really, really long and parts of the fur that are really short. So paying attention to those Quokka references online will help you determine where to put the long pieces and where to put the short pieces. Like around the eyes, it's really short fur. I mean, the chin around the fur on the Quokka's chin is really long. And I mean, can you imagine if the Quokka had long fur around its eyes? It would totally cover its eyes. So it was designed this way to have short fur at the top. So you want to make sure your lines are shorter. So with that said, let's bring our other Quokka over and we'll start to work out some lines. So let me just line this up here. And then always try to go like in the direction of the fur. So I'm just going to do a few long lines here. And you don't have to do all the lines. You know, it's just enough to kind of give it a suggestion of lines being there. And then I'll probably do a few little lines around the chin. They're just more like little dots. Because the Quokka, like I said, has different heights of lines for fur. So you almost want to give your Quokka different textures, like I did on mine. There's all different types of line styles on my original detailed drawing. Let's see. Can you all see what I'm doing? Is it dark enough? The thumbs up, or do you need to see darker lines? Looks like, okay, cool. All right. Let me get this other pen. So yeah, start to bring in some of these lines. And then when I get close to the eyes, I'll do smaller little lines, not very long. And just kind of have them flare out to the left and the right, like a fan would, going in those different directions. And I'll do some lines over here. And there's always that midpoint where the lines get a little bit longer, and that would kind of be somewhere around this cheek area here. So you got small lines up here, about mid-sized lines here, and then you go into the really big, long, swooping lines under the chin. And that's how their fur goes out. So that's a quick tutorial on doing the fur. So you try to do the same thing down here. It's about the same with the body. Their fur is about, you know, the smaller pieces here. Just do a few there. And for most of these, you want to have them kind of coming down. The longer pieces or the mid-sized pieces are about here in their torso. So now we're giving our Quokkas some fur so they can stay warm. And then you can put a few of the smaller ones around the kneecaps and a little bit longer down by the feet. And same, you know, it's more of the medium to small fur pieces on the arms. And you can see how I'm changing direction of the lines. Like this arm, since it's going this direction, my lines are going to go in that direction. I'm not going to do up and down like this because their fur, it goes in a certain way. Like, for example, if you look at your eyelash or your eyebrows, your hair goes in a certain direction for a reason. So just look at building out the animal that way. And then with your pencils, you know, you can always go in with your pencil and shade areas. Like, we want to make sure it's dark under the chin. So I always take like the side of my pencil So you can always use your pencil as tools and take the side of it and kind of rub it up against the paper so it's a little bit thicker lead. You're using more of the edge than the tip. Then I go in my finger and just kind of blend it. So that looks like, it has a shadow underneath its chin, which is what we want. So when you think about shadows, it's anything that is like tucked away that isn't normally dark. There would definitely be a shadow there. And I imagine like the lighting's in the corner, so I'm going to put some more shadows over on this side. So I'm going to put a mark over here. This is where I'm going to imagine my son's at. You don't have to do that side. I just want to, for reference. And then I'm going to go in and just darken this area too, because there would be a big shadow over here because his arm is in the front. I'll blend that in. So now you're starting to build up lights and darks in your piece, which gives it more depth. It looks three-dimensional. And the sun coming down, the arm is out here, so there would be a shadow underneath. And you can always pay attention to shadows when you're outside throughout the day, especially in Oregon, because we get lots of different weather patterns. So sometimes it's really rainy and you get lots of like dispersed clouds, but there's still shadows happening. And then look at the contrast of shadows when it's really super sunny. So we're getting some shadows on the body. Oh, looks like Maya has a question. Let me unmute.
What about the tail?
Yeah, so we can build more on the tail. So the tail would be medium to long. You can build that out there. But yeah, I would go in that direction of it, kind of swoop the fur out to the left. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the other part we want to do is like to give your quokka, because the quokka is sitting down, so we want to give it a shadow so it looks like it's sitting down. So once again, I take the side of my pencil and just really build up. This would probably be one of the darkest shadows. Just really build that up right around the edges of the body and the feet. Now, once you have your charcoal or your lead from your pencil really dark, what you can do is take your finger and start to blend it out. Because the shadow dissipates over time and gets lighter the further away from the object is. So we'll just go ahead and lightly bring that out. So your finger should have a lot of smudging action going on. Good. Mine's a little dirty, but that's what you're supposed to have when you're smudging pencil to give it that look that you want. So those are some good tips that you can try, like with other animals. When you draw out, think about the fur, think about the lights and darks, think about building it out as mass first, and really think about the angle of the animal, which you talked about, and then building in detail later. You could still work on your piece. There could definitely be more. The nose could be darkened, the ear area could be darkened. So we're getting close to wrapping up, and I want to see everyone's work. But first, does anyone have any questions, like something they want to cover that they can work on until the next class? Well, I'm going to unmute and let's do some sharing. Looks like Isabella's ready. All right, Isabella, you want to show us your quokka?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, I want to see the tail. That's fun. I like how you tucked underneath it. That's very cool. And the anime eyes. Have you kiddos tried anime? Anyone else? Okay, Olivia.
Just a little bit, not really.
Yeah. Anime's fun. It's a different style of form, so that's what's always nice. I always try to challenge people to try something different. You learn something about your drawings. Okay, let's go jump for Santa and Maya. Let's see what you kiddos have. Let's see your quokkas. Oh, you got the cute eyes. That's fantastic. Nice work. I'm so excited to see the quokkas. All right, Olivia, what do you have? Awesome.
Pink. And so for his story, he just got sunburned because he's in Australia. But really, it's because someone pranked me with pink milk and I spilled it on it accidentally.
All right. Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care.